Crimson.
No need for thanks, Wiz.
It's all in a day's work.
It was utterly heroic, the way Captain Crimson saved us from that stampeding bull. But we'd all had quite enough excitement for one day, so we drove back for a quiet, lazy afternoon at home. And what did we find when we got there? That Dad was nowhere to be found, and the editor had used up 3 million meters of paper from the fax machine complaining about Dad's latest story. Dear Jeff, thanks for finishing this week's story so quickly. Can't wait to read it. Kind regards, Pat. Dear Jeff, I've just finished reading your story. Are you sure it's quite right for our readers? Ring me within the hour, please. Patrick.
Jeff, where are you? We have to talk about this week's story. Our deadline is only 3 hours away and I'm getting nervous, very nervous. Ring me the minute you get this. P.
Rickard, I try to contact you every half hour and I'm sick of it. Don't ignore me just because you don't want to rewrite the story for our readers. You are running out of time and I am running out of patience. So call me, now.
I knew I should have written it myself.
What on earth could your dad have written that was so terrible?
I think you might just be about to find out.
Rickard? I don't believe it.
Thought so.
Sorry to bother you with minor details, but the story stinks. Have you gone mad? Did you really think the readers would be interested in seeing Captain Crimson caught up in all this lovey-dovey rubbish? My readers want thrills. My readers want spills. They want action, excitement, heroics. And so do I. Your artwork's in the bin, Rickard. And so's your job. If you haven't written a new story by 5 o'clock. Because that's when the biker will be there.
This is a job from Captain Crimson.
And all I wanted was a nice, quiet, lazy afternoon.
She loves me. She loves me now. She loves me. She loves me now. She loves me.
So, the story's going to be about a meteorite rocketing through space on collision course for the Earth.
I still think it should be chasing me.
Meteorites don't chase people.
But I'm the hero of this story. It should be chasing me.
Don't worry, I'm sure we'll find you something heroic to do.
All right, then.
Why didn't I draw a picture of you and First Officer Optic on the bridge as he's telling you about the meteorite?
Good idea. But draw me this way. I'm more handsome from the right.
How about First Officer Optic noticed a large object travelling quickly towards them.
That's good. But isn't there a better word than quickly to make it sound more exciting?
How about travelling swiftly towards them?
Or speedily.
It could be travelling hurriedly. Or even rapidly.
I like rapidly best.
So I'll put, First Officer Optic noticed that a large object was travelling rapidly towards them.
Then he realised it was on a collision course for Earth. We could say something like, Optic calculated that the meteorite was heading towards Earth.
Isn't there another word we could choose for heading to make it sound more dangerous?
What about rushing? You could use speeding, or whooshing.
Or whizzing.
And there's dashing.
As well as rocketing or even hurtling.
Hurtling. That's a much better word.
Right, so we'll say, Optic calculated that the meteorite was hurtling towards Earth. Wow, now it sounds dangerous. What's your plan, Captain?
Who knows? But I'm bound to think of something.
The Adventures of Captain Crimson, Space Crusader. The Galileo was on routine space patrol when First Officer Optic noticed a large object traveling rapidly in their direction. There's a meteorite racing towards us.
Take evasive action, Bridget.
Optic calculated that the meteorite was hurtling down to Earth. The force of the collision would destroy everything.
Millions of innocent people are gonna die.
There's only 1 hour left to save our world. The situation looked desperate as the captain held a crisis briefing with his crew.
We must slow the meteorite down.
Yes, but how? As the minutes ticked away, the captain came up with a plan which relied on split-second timing. He would pilot a space pod and jolt the meteorite off its life-threatening course.
It's far too dangerous, Captain.
I know, but someone's got to do it.
The meteorite was rocketing ever closer to Earth, so Captain Crimson rushed to put his plan into action. The others dashed after him.
Are you sure you want to go through with this?
Naturally. Our future depends on it.
Let him go. The hour is nearly up.
Good luck, Captain.
Thank you, Widget.
Captain Crimson bravely piloted his tiny spacecraft into the path of the mighty meteorite. Nobody dared to move as Captain Crimson's deadly countdown began.
Stand by to transport in 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. He's gonna die.
Steady, Widget.
now!
The force of the explosion sent the meteorite tumbling through the atmosphere. It plunged straight into the ocean and plummeted to the bottom.
Please accept our grateful thanks, Captain Crimson.
No need for thanks, Mom. It's all in a day's work.
Of course, Dad felt pretty bad when we told him we'd had to redo his Captain Crimson story. But he did laugh when we pointed out how smoochy it had been, and he rang the editor to apologise. Thank goodness Gina had agreed to go out with him. I don't know what it'd have been like if she'd turned him down. So Dad was full of beans, but Captain Crimson was utterly gutted when his homemade transmitter hadn't worked. It made him feel even more homesick, and none of us knew what to do about it.
Why does our hero visit a doctor and get rushed to hospital within the hour? Are Thomas and Amy right to be worried? Why are all the doctors desperate to experiment on the captain, and will our friends desert him in his hour of need? Find out next week with Captain Crimson. Watch this space!